Welcome to day 2 of the 30 Goals Challenge for Educators. My name is Shelly Terrell, and today's goal is to re-evaluate value. Today's quote comes from Albert Einstein. Everything that can be counted does not necessarily count, and everything that counts cannot necessarily be counted. I was thinking today about my goal process. Every year I do goals. I'm very goal-oriented. And I kept thinking of the way that I used to do goals. I used to put number values in them. For example, it would always be to lose 20 pounds or 15 pounds or something like that. But this year I did something different. I worded my goal statement differently. My goal is to instead value myself. And part of that is valuing my body. So one of the things that I've done is now I focus my perception and what I see as an accomplishment and achievement. It's no longer stepping on a scale and seeing how much I have lost or something like that. Instead, I get really excited by doing things like, running, going on the elliptical machine or something like that. Then I get really excited and I focus on that. I'm like, yay, you exercised today. Or if I ate really well, then I focus on that. But I think of how this impacted me, why I'm programmed to think this way. Because this goes to other areas of our lives. We place a value on numbers. For example, followers or friends or things on social networks, how many people, we get so focused on, caught up in that sometimes that we feel like, the point, disappointed about it. We're robbed of the feeling of accomplishment by disconnecting with others. Also, our salaries, bonus, how many awards we win, trophies. It's just so much programming. I don't want my students to be programmed like this. I know how tough it is for me to still try to get rid of all of this. So instead, in my classes, I try to change the focus. I remember I used to work with students, and they used to read at a 2nd grade level, and they were in the 8th grade. And no matter how hard they tried, they always failed. They were never going to pass any of the standardized tests. And I hated failing students. I hated it because it didn't take into account the progress that they made from reading in a 2nd grade level to a 4th grade level in a year. That's a huge achievement that should be celebrated. But instead, our schools take that away. Maybe not for every class. You can't change the system. I said it was small goals. So our short-term goal today should be to have our students think about the way that they are valued. Take one assignment, just one assignment, and don't grade it the way you usually would. Instead, try to figure out how you can assess that assignment and make the students or guide the students into seeing the value of what they achieve, the journey. Maybe they make a video and they're able to see the creativity instead. Maybe it's them writing an assignment and they improve from the last time. But somehow they should be able to see the value in the learning and to feel a sense of achievement for that lesson. No failures. No, you could have done this more or anything like that. Trust me. Every single other teacher throughout the day is probably going to put a number value back on them. So for them, having one lesson where they're not necessarily graded is not going to destroy your career at all. And the long-term goal is for you to think about the way you grade everything, the assessments and things like that. So what are your ideas? How do you ensure that your students feel valued when they leave your class? How do you do assessment in a different way? Please share these ideas with us. I would like to give a shout out to some of those people out there. There's so many of you. You're just so amazing doing the 30 Goals Challenge. I've been reading the tweets, the blogs, posts, the different comments, the Facebook status updates. So you've just been so amazing. I've learned so much from you. Some people interpreted yesterday's being being a beam as being a ray of light, Lisa Dabbs and Marty Sides. And then there was people who decided it was a Beam Me Up Scotty, which was from Julie. And then Sabrina wanted to be a virtual beam and left comments. There's Mimi, who took her snow day and emailed all the teachers and her staff different links that she felt were helpful to them. I thought that was pretty awesome. Tyson, they had a teacher development day. Anna Perez asked her students to help her with a presentation. So having students show support to a teacher as a beam. So you had so many great ideas, and I just really, really appreciate it. Someone even did a wall wisher for, I believe it is Evelyn, for their fallen, their friend who fell down and hurt himself. So there's so many different ways you looked at it, and I just really, really appreciate it. If you could do me a favor, if you really are enjoying the 30 Goals Challenge, if you could tweet at Eye on Education and tell them you're looking forward to the book that's coming out in the fall of 2011, the 30 Goals Challenge for Educators, or leave them a comment on their blog. Their website is eyeoneducation.com. It took a lot for my publisher to see the value in doing this, trying to do the whole entire goal process, and this is kind of like a brainstorming session for me. The book we plan on making like a workbook, and so there'll be plenty of reflection, open sheets for reflection, different things like that we have to make it focus on the reflection of the goals, as well as, you know, support and different things like that we really think that classroom teachers will find value in. This is a different kind of book, but it took a lot of belief from the publisher. And also, you know, to be able to allow me to do this before it's even published is just amazing and phenomenal. So if you could do that, I'd really appreciate it. So that way you could show them that there is value in doing this as a community. Thank you. And just realize that you're valuable, and you don't need to put a number to it or anything like that. You have added value in my life, and throughout this process, you're going to help and support and many teachers and your students, and you're just very valuable for doing that. That's an amazing thing that you do. Teach students. That's amazing, and give them value.